Welcome to Pop Palace. My name is Jack. I'm so excited to have you. One thing we like to do on Pop Palace is have our guests introduce themselves and tell us one of your earliest memories you have that's related to music.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. My name is Holly Clausius. I'm an artist based in Toronto, Canada. And one of my earliest memories of music probably was when I was 5 years old. I had my first vocal recital and I sang The Little Mermaid, Part of Your World. And I remember that feeling of like nerves and excitement. And I've been trying to like recreate that ever since.
I love that. That's so cute. Did you have a mermaid tail by chance?
I didn't, but I would have loved one.
I'm, I'm just imagining like a little you and a mermaid tail singing that. Like that's so iconic.
Aw, yeah, I wish.
So it's almost been a year since the release of your album Pedal Pusher. How
Mhm.
has the album evolved now that it's released into the public? Does it
Yeah.
feel any different knowing that like people are out there listening to it?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like some of the songs on the album have existed like longer than others. So I was like, experimenting, performing them live and stuff. But now that it's like all on like one album, one CD, I feel like it's become its own little world that people can listen to. And again, I still love performing all of those songs, but now they're like together in a family.
Yeah, totally. Do
Mhm.
you feel like a sense of release when you put it out into the world, or you still like have a little bit anxiety about it like having listeners now?
There's always a little bit of anxiety when it comes to releases, like, oh, are people gonna love this as much as I have? You spent so much time and money working on it. But it is also a huge relief after like again months of like recording and production and stuff to getting it out finally and being like, okay, it is yours now. It's no longer mine, it's in your hands.
Yeah, totally. So when you're like coming up for the concept of an album, are you did you have the idea that you wanted to make a full album, or were you making like a few songs here and there and it just like kind of came together?
So with this one specifically, I mean, every album of mine has been kind of different. Like
Mhm.
the first two were very like intentionally like this is the album, this is the concept, and I would like write for it. Whereas this one, I had a few songs that were already written, and then I kind of came up with the concept afterwards, and they ended up fitting into that world. So some of them were written for the album, others were kind of like plucked and put into the album. But yeah.
Do you have a preference like does one feel easier than the other, or is it just like how things are?
I love a concept album. Like I'm
Mhm.
currently writing my next project and that is like I love it because I love a prompt. Like I love writing
Yeah.
to like even for film and TV and stuff if someone's like, "Oh, I need this for a commercial or whatever." Like that's really fun for me. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
It almost seems like you're like solving a little puzzle or like putting together a riddle that like fits something specific. And I feel like
Mhm.
that's so like magical that you're able to do that. That's so cool.
Thank you.
So, when you're coming up with the ideas for your music, do you usually have like a pretty concise creative process, or is it a little sporadic? Like, are you a notes app person, or do you write in the journal? How is your like creative process like?
Yeah, my creative process, it's a little bit of everything,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. During the like deep pandemic, I did a lot of writing challenges where I would write every single day for like a month at a time. And I ended up getting a bunch of songs out of that. But it also helped me experiment with all these different ways to write. So whether it's physically writing in my notebook that I have, or using a Google Doc, or if it's starting with the guitar part or piano part. So now I feel like I could probably write a song in like a bunch of different ways, and it sometimes it just comes out of you, and it's like in one session,
Mm-hmm.
and other times it's a bit harder. But like I love all of the different ways, so it's
Yeah, totally. Do you find yourself having like a specific not event but like time that you find that you get most of your ideas? I feel like I get my most creative ideas when I'm like at my day job doing things that are totally unrelated and like I can't focus on it and I just have to like write it down real quick and go back to it later.
mm,
Do you find that you have like an experience like that, or is it just kind of like all the time?
I mean, I wouldn't say all the time. There's definitely times where I'm not feeling as creative. I can force myself to write a song, but it might not be as good as like when I'm really going through it. I find, unfortunately, when I'm like going through a breakup or lost a family member, like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that is when I'm the most creative in my hardships because it is my therapy and it gets me through those hard times.
Yeah,
But
totally.
yeah. Mm.
So I got the chance to watch you perform at North by, and it was absolutely iconic. I had so much fun.
Thank you.
Your stage presence is so natural. And how do you prepare for a show? Like, do you have like a routine you do before you get on stage? I feel like when you got up there, you're just like so naturally ready.
Oh.
How do you get to that point?
That's so sweet. Yeah, I love performing. That is like my favorite thing about doing music is just being
Mm-hmm.
on stage. Like I told you when I was 5 years old, that was my first performance, and I thrive on it. So I think like to prepare for a show, it really depends. Like something like North by Northeast, like I'm practicing with my band beforehand and I'm in the green room doing my little like lip trills and things. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm really trying to like get in the zone. I find sometimes it's hard to like be out in the audience like talking to people
Yeah.
before. I really need to just like channel that, get in, and then I can talk to everyone after. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. It feels kind of natural because I've been doing it since I was 5, but
Right.
yeah.
Do you like I always expect that after being in on a show and you put out so much energy that you get off and you're like tired and need to relax, or is it one of those things where like the energy's still going and you need a sec to like kind of calm down?
Mm. Depends on the show. Some
Yeah.
shows definitely it's like you get the adrenaline, you're like, oh, let's go. I want to talk to everyone and it's great. Other shows I'm like sweating and it's like hot outside or wherever and I need to go and just like sit down for a minute. But yeah, it's definitely dependent on the show.
Mm-hmm. Do you find that like can you tell the audience like do every audience have like its own unique vibe like per
Mm.
show?
Yeah, definitely. And I always say this to people like it doesn't matter how many people are in a room either. Like I've had audiences of very small, 15 people in a park or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and like they give amazing energy versus like hundreds of people. So it really, every audience is different, and that can like make a show very interesting.
Yeah,
Like.
that's super fun.
Mm.
So this entire season features only Canadian artists. What is the Canadian music landscape like, and how do you feel like you fit into it?
Love the Canadian music landscape. There's so many amazing artists from Canada, and I think a lot of people don't realize it until they start hearing like, oh yeah, like Justin Bieber, The Weeknd, Alanis Morissette. Like we have all these big power players, but we also have such an amazing indie scene
Mm-hmm.
and queer scene.
Yeah.
So I feel really lucky, and I'm really excited that I get to be a part of it, and that it's so diverse too. There's so many different genres coming out of Toronto, even let
Mm-hmm.
alone Canada. So, yeah.
Yeah. I love Canada. I'm in the middle of the United States, but every time I go, I'm like, it's a breath of fresh air. There's so many
Mm,
gay people just like out and about. I'm in Oklahoma, which we have gay people, but like it's not the same. And I was like, this is
yeah.
so amazing. I love
Mm,
it.
thank you. Yeah.
So you've toured the US, UK, and Canada. We kind of talked about this before, but does each of those locations like have a distinct vibe from the audience?
Mm.
Or in like when you're on tour, does it all kind of blend together, or are you able to like pinpoint kind of different locations?
Yeah, I would say everywhere kind of has its own vibe and scene. I haven't like extensively toured the States or the UK really, but
Mm-hmm.
the places I have been to, I'm like, okay, this is like, for example, like the UK, like London and Brighton. They even have very different scenes. I would say,
Yeah.
like one is like oh by the water and very chill and queer, and
Mm-hmm.
London is queer too, but it's just a different. It gives a very different city energy. Um, and the people, like I'm from a very very small town originally,
Mm-hmm.
so I played there actually like a couple of days ago, and I was like, whoa, like this is so different than playing a show in Toronto, even though
Yeah.
people are lovely here too. It's
Mm-hmm.
just I'm sure as you get like in a smaller rural area, people are like hospitality and like want to like
Yeah,
give the
for
shirt
sure.
off their back. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally. So I love your personal style too. I feel like it matches your music very well. do you have like, is it a conscious decision that it pairs well so together, or do you think since both of them are so uniquely yours that your styles just kind of a mesh?
Mm. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a mesh. Like I've always, since I was young, loved like bright, bold colors, big earrings,
Mm-hmm.
eyeshadow. And, when I started writing music and stuff, I was going to kind of be the same and be unapologetically like myself and
Yeah.
honest. So it kind of just married each other, I
Mm-hmm.
guess.
I love that. So if you had like an unlimited budget and unlimited reach, what would be like your most, like if you could build any outfit, what would you build? Like, I know that's like a tough question to like come on the spot, but if you could do
Mm.
anything
I mean,
for an outfit.
I've been loving what Chapel like has been doing on her tours and stuff, where like
Mm-hmm.
she commissions an outfit, and it has like a theme. I'm all about
Yeah.
a theme, so I'm trying to think of one, but like something floral is always going to be my vibe. All my albums are like named after flowers and stuff, so yeah, something like big floral, kind of like midsummer maybe vibes. I
Cute.
don't know.
Yes. I could totally see that.
It'll be fun.
Is there a specific reason that you have like so much floral themes in your music?
Honestly, it's one of those things as well where I've always really loved flowers and nature, and I mean, I have a bunch of like floral tattoos and stuff.
Cute.
So it kind of became a theme and a motif, and I started calling like my fan base like the garden, and because they helped me grow and become like the artist I am. So
That's so
yeah.
cute. I love the garden. I love
Thank
that.
you, thank you.
So at Pop Palace, we focus on the concept of personal identity and its relation to music and the music industry. So, how do you feel like being queer has affected your place in the music world? Or, like, that could either be in the industry space or, like, from a fan's perspective. Do you feel like
Mm.
it has affected your spot?
Yeah, I think so. I think being a queer, non-binary person is definitely like the opportunities have started to get better and bigger and
Mm-hmm.
more. But when I started, I was like 2017, and yeah, I couldn't really find my people, and it took a while to find that community. But once I did, I realized like, wow, this is a really rich, strong community that bands together because we have each other's backs. And yeah, I would say I'm really grateful to be a part of it now, and I feel like more granting bodies and things like that are trying to support queer artists, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, totally. Do you feel there's a pressure to represent the queer community in, like, a certain way? Or do you feel like just being authentic to yourself is, like, enough? Not enough, but like, do you feel like there's a pressure at all to like represent in a specific way?
I mean, when I first like came out as queer and started like producing my own shows, and like I ran this show called Camp Queer for a few years, and I kind of felt like I'm like the face of it, and I have like this pressure to be this certain way, or I also identify as like bisexual, so sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when I'm like dating men, I feel like, oh, people don't consider me as queer as when I'm like dating a woman or whatever. So there's definitely been pressures, but I think now that I've been been out for so long, I feel like I'm just being myself, and people can then they can see a representation of a queer person that looks like this, and
Yeah,
just
totally.
this music.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like authenticity is like, it's hard to, you can't fake that. And so everyone
Mm-hmm.
can see that it's like true authenticity.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So, beyond the music itself, are there any stories or messages you're trying to champion your listeners through your platform or through your songs?
Yeah, I think mental health is like a huge thing I advocate
Mm-hmm.
for. I've had a lot of people in my life, myself included, that have like struggled with depression and anxiety. So really, just trying to give a voice for that and let people know that it's okay. It's not taboo. We can talk about it. Um, and yeah, I don't know, like being queer, like I said, and authentic in whatever way I want to show up. Like
Mm-hmm.
recently, like coming out as non-binary, I've found it really freeing to be able to write and be like, I don't have to look a certain way or act a certain way. I can just be me,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully other people can see themselves in that too.
Exactly. I love that. I I feel the same way. I feel like if I can be truly myself, then other people can see that and like, no, that's okay. And like we could do
Hmm.
that too.
Yeah, definitely.
So, how do you want to be remembered in the music scene? Like in 100 years from now, what do you want them to talk about as Holly?
Ooh. In 100 years from now, I would want people to remember me as like a leader, someone in the community that was almost like a safe space to go to listen to my music, to come to my
Mm-hmm.
shows, to um, build like lifelong friendships within the fan base and at the concerts, you know? And to also just be a place where people can have fun and forget about all the things in their life that are going wrong. Because
Yeah.
I love that about music. And if I can be that for other people, that would be amazing.
It's literally a superpower. I feel like musicians, I've always looked up to them as like, I don't know, there's like some magic in being able to like go and go on stage and make this sounds that connects everybody in the room together. And like that's
Mhm.
pure magic to me.
Yeah.
So, what is a non-musical source like a film, book, or life experience that you shaped your writing or performance style? So, do you ever get inspiration from like non-musical things like other media types for your music?
Ooh. That's a great question. I don't know if I've ever thought of that. So I actually went to school for acting, so I
Oh,
love
cool.
film and performing in that way too. And yeah, I think all of the arts kind of complement each other and inspire me. I'm trying to think of a specific example right now. I for some reason cannot,
No,
but
that's okay.
but I don't know. I would just say like seeing a really good play or seeing a really good movie just like yeah gets me wanting to create and be on stage again. To be honest.
Yeah, totally. Do you think that like acting has helped your stage presence in like your musical world?
Definitely. I was a very shy kid and it was weird because whenever I would go on stage though, I'd be like this whole other. It gave me like
Mm-hmm.
permission to be whoever I wanted to be. And then eventually I was like, oh, this is who I am and I'm
Yeah.
comfortable now being that person. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I love that. Do you still participate in any like acting endeavors right now?
Ooh, not right now. I mostly act in like my music videos that I put
Mm-hmm.
out. That's kind of where, and I direct them as well. So that's where I get that release. But yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll be in a play or something sometime soon.
Fun. So when you're directing and like creating a music video, do you ever come up with the visual ideas like when you have the concept of a song before you write it fully? If that makes
Yeah,
sense. Like you have a kind
definitely.
of like a visual idea of what it's gonna be like.
Yeah, I'm definitely someone who, when I'm writing, I see visuals, and whether it's a music
Mm-hmm.
video concept or not, I definitely have like symbols that I attach to certain songs. So it makes it easier afterwards trying to come up with a music concept when I've already got the visuals started.
Mm-hmm. I feel like in my brain, I like kind of make like a little collage of like different like colors and feelings that I associate with like a song. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to Pedal Pushers while I was getting like ready this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I was feeling very like creamsicle orange, like when I
Yeah,
was
that's the
listening to it.
color.
Yeah, and like it matches so well with like I don't know. I'm just so impressed. It did so good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was literally the palette I like came up with like creamsicle orange and like some lilac also kind of in
Mm-hmm.
there. Uh, but yeah, I love that. Like especially planning an album, like coming up with the color scheme and the vibes of it.
Do you ever associate like a scent with a song?
Ooh.
Or like if you could pick a scent for like your album, what
Mm,
would you think your album would smell like?
that's a great question. I actually have never thought of that, but I think for Pedal Pusher, I get like a smoky kind of like campfire. I don't know. It's like woodsy vibes. I don't
Totally.
know. That's what came
Yeah.
to mind.
There's this perfume. I work at Lush and there's a perfume called
Mm.
the Bee's Knees that's like
Mm.
kind of smoky, but it has a hint of like honey in it. And
Ooh,
I feel like
yeah.
it's very much giving that.
Yeah, a little sweetness too. I see that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about what you might be having coming next or what you're working on
Mm.
now?
Yeah, I can give you a sneak peek. I've been writing my next album, which is going to be. It's been a hard one because it's all about different types of grief.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely like tapping into that and doing a lot of co-writes, which has been really fun. And I will be recording. Actually, tomorrow is the first vocal
Ah,
day.
exciting.
So yeah, it's all coming together. I don't have any dates or anything quite yet, but it is going to be coming. Some singles this year at least, and maybe the full album next year. So
Yay! I'm so excited. Do
thank
you
you.
like when you're going into the studio to prepare to sing, do you have like a warm up, or like do you drink a special drink, or like have a little routine that you do to like prepare?
Yeah, I mean, I've been really building my vocal like toolbox. Kind of, I watched like a Chapel Roan video actually of like what she has in her little vocal toolbox. And so I've been using steamers and nebulizers and different things to like prep my vocals. But
Mm-hmm.
mostly I do like a little warm up and um, yeah, I'm not somebody who does warms up for too long because I feel like I'm kind of warming up also while recording sometimes.
Yeah,
But yeah.
totally. Okay, well, I have one last question on Pop Palace. We love to ask all of our guests. So, kind of going off the royal theme of the palace, if you could build your own royal court, you're in the throne and you have 2 to 3 musical idols or influences surrounding you, who would they be?
Wow, I love that. Okay, definitely Lady Gaga. She's number one there. Um, then I'm gonna put Florence and the Machine, like
Ah, so
Florence Pugh.
good.
I almost said Florence Pugh. No, I meant not Florence Pugh. Yeah, and then the third one's hard. Do they have to be alive?
No, anybody.
Anybody?
They don't even have, they could be fictional too. Like,
Ooh.
there's no rules here.
I'm I'm gonna say Stevie Nicks. I was gonna go David Bowie, but I'm gonna say let's keep it all women and let's go Stevie Nicks. I think that would be a really fun bunch.
Yeah, that's such a good little combo. I feel like they could like bounce off each other so well.